coming back from this one. Greetings, my fellow humanity. You know who I am. I'm coming to you live, raw, and uncut, because I got to say it. I got to say it. You know, we living in a world in time where it's things going on all around us. It seems like nobody paying attention, but we paying attention. Just give me a moment to gather my thoughts. Just say what I got to say, and I'm gonna get out the way. We live in a world where we read this here Bible, and this here Bible tell us everything to do. When to wake up, when to sleep, or thereby by implication. John chapter 4, verse 22 through 24. Ye worship ye know not what. But he said, we know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. And I might as well just say it how I'm saying it. We live in a time where we have access to all relevant information. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to be scared of. We might as well just start talking about truth in the way that we understand it. We got access to the internet. We got access to books. You have PDFs all on your hard drive. You can access any amount of information and go look it up in your spare times while you're taking a dump at work. Salvation is of the Jews. I'm not talking about no ethnocentric, isolated type of reference. But we'll get into that, because this is anybody who understands on this frequency. Ye worship what ye know not. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. I'm not laying down no law. This is nothing to be afraid of, or any type of heart palpitations, any sort of fear, unless that fear is excitement. When I talk about exclusivity here, we're talking about the Father, the one that gave your soul existence, which is in you. The hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. The reason why I'll quote the Bible is because we live in a culture that was made by the Bible. We understand things in those type of contexts. It's the same way we understand as walking on the side of the right while driving on the right in America versus any other place. It's the same type of concept. And I'm saying that to say, because Paul said that we must move from milk to meat. it's time to make moves and grow up in the faith. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. Our pastor said, and it has come across in such a strong way. We've got the message, even in the ways that we teach it. Even when you break it down in the demographics of different, when you break it down in the demographics of different, I don't know what you call cultural expressions of that, but either way, it's still the same thing. They say when he says something twice, he must mean it. I've heard it's been said twice, so he must mean it. Verse 23, the hour cometh when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. And then he says that again in verse 24. That must matter. Now my theme music over. I'm also done with the intro of my justification of why I gotta go. I'm not mad. And as we see and progress, we'll actually see that this is actually a good thing. Let me get my reference. Here we go. I gotta go in my bag, y'all. I gotta go in my bag. See, look at them raw toes. Look at them toes. Shaking. Smoking cigarettes and whatnot. That's what that should get you. I gotta make the address, and make the address how I gotta make the address, and just leave it at that. If I seem crazy, I hope I seem real crazy. I hope I seem real crazy right now. Cause it must be as crazy as the Matrix. You mean tell me we live in a country where 75% of people grew up as Christianity as the basis of their intellectual background, and the point of, in the beginning, God said, and we don't analyze the way and the fashion, the manner, what that means, when we know that we live in a time where we understand that the resonation patterns and frequency and tones of the universe make worlds. That's kind of a big idea. It's kind of a big deal. I'm not talking about specifically about just someone saying something. Put that on every 10 minutes to remind me to calm down. Just breathe. Because he breathed in Adam, and Adam became a living soul. So you just gotta breathe. Know ye not that your bodies is the temple of the Holy Ghost? Know ye not that ye are the temple of the living God? Go read Matthew chapter 24. The disciple was standing right by him. And what they asked him, they was asking about the temple. He said, yo, you see these bricks? You see these bricks? These man-made bricks? I'm going to tear these down, and I'm going to build them all over again. But then it say right there, right after, that he was talking about his body. Not about no damn temple. What is the only temple that's not made by man's hands? That's you. Your mom and dad made you. They didn't make you. They helped to facilitate in the creative process. But where did you come from? Know ye not that your body is a temple of the Holy Ghost? I gotta calm down. Yeah, I got the anthropomorphization on. I hope I seem real crazy to you right now. Cause maybe we need a little crazy. Not that crazy is crazy, but you know, Einstein once said, well, he was paraphrased by an average person who doesn't have cognitive dissonance, who gave him a updated modern version slang type of twist on it. But he said, you know, the crazy thing about smart motherfuckers is most motherfuckers that's dumb or something like that think that crazy motherfuckers is crazy, when it's really the craziest thing ain't really crazy. It might be just normalest thing. It's just that everybody else don't see it because we grow up fucking crazy. We live in a crazy time. Not that there's reason to panic about that, because who told us to panic? And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. And I'm just saying, I'm laying it right out there, because there ain't nothing to be afraid of. He said, in that day, you're going to realize that I'm in you and you in me and I am the Father and we are one, and that you are one, like, and all that. What's up, all this you and the me and the I and you and the me and the we and you do. I thought we was talking about Christ being the head of everything. What does it mean to be an heir of Christ? What does that mean? Are you a slave? But I want you to know, there's nothing hidden that shall not be known in the eyes of the Father. And when I say Father, I'm appealing to you and how you speak in your normally in our context, but we understand that Father, it means the source of life, that male genitive principle. And what it say in Genesis, let the earth bring forth. Well, that's female, Mother Nature. You have to really think about that. Go read Genesis 1 and 2 again. Go look it up in the Hebrew. That's why I just want to get on the scene. Blow, there it is. You do your study. You got to do your study. You got to put your time in. That's why I'm speaking the way I speak, because I have the right to speak. Because he told Timothy, listen to it closely. Don't let no one despise your youth. Just because you a young boy, just because you understand. Because when he's talking about youth, he's not just talking about your age, but he's talking about that you didn't come up amongst the elders, which means the elder teachings, which means the way the traditions of our fathers have been telling us the way to understand it. Not him just being youth as a young boy. He's talking about the elders, because David said, there's nothing hidden between the eyes of what him to whom we have to do. It's going to be now or never. Now or never. You want to get to heaven. You want to do things up. You want to see the splendor. All you got to do is make your heart surrender and get rid of that fake stuff that's pretending. To pick up your suspenders. Fuck your blue spats. We in the air. We going to levitate. Do a little bit of this while we meditate, eating fish in that better cake. But I gotta get rid of that dead weight. Now was the time. Coming out your shell. Coming out of the way that we've been taught to look at things. There's nothing to fear, people. And I don't count if I sound crazy, and I like saying that because what is public image except something that you've been told to accept as that's whatever it is based on everything else. But he said in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, he that have an ear to hear, let him hear. And that's what the Spirit's saying to the church, saying to your heart, saying to your chakras, saying to your spirit, saying to the ones that got ears to see, you got eyes, can't see, blind, can't see. The most valuable thing on this planet is you, baby. Say Christ in the flesh. And then he said, I'm going to be in you and be with you. And I'm going to be with you until the end of the earth. What does that mean? What does that really mean? Y'all know me. I'm Brian Bonds, played football, all that, Mr. Strong, whatever you want to call it. Truth is, I miss most of that, because when I was growing up, I was into this day and night. You hit one cheek, I turn the other. Day and night. Meditate. But Psalms 1 and 3. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. I'm not talking about Bible thumping. I'm talking about ask what this shit mean. What do things mean? I'm sorry, y'all. It been 10 years. You know, I know everybody see me. I see you too. You know, we all live on the planet. I understand. So, you know, I'm going through my bag. But I'm not going to say my bad. Because if you have half a consciousness, you should be able to understand what I'm saying. And ask what is crazy. What do you mean? I'm gonna keep saying that word crazy because that's the word that we choose to say. So I might as well make the shift now. No, reasonable intelligence. I want to say. I'm gonna say it to you like Paul said it. I think it was 1 Timothy. He said 1 Timothy 1 and 15. This is a faithful saying. But the Bible says, this is a faithful saying. 1 Timothy 1:15 through 17. And this is a faithful saying and worthy of all acceptation, that Christ Jesus, I understand the cacophonies of resounding questions and craziness that goes with the word Jesus. I understand that, and if you have to be listening with your heart to understand that. Considering what's going on in the world and the amount of archaeology and things that we finding out, you know, things digging up things around the ground, you know what archaeology is. He said, this is a faithful saying and worthy of all acceptation, that Christ Jesus came into the world to save sinners, of who I am chief. Ain't nobody sin on this planet more than me. I sin right up in your face, sitting right next to you, eating a damn sandwich. I sitting right next to you with my foot off with smoke a weed, cigar weed, nigga weed, this, that, right next to you, and still be forgiven. Still, God's still talking to you, still talking to me. Why you wash the outside of the cup, but inside you full of dead man's bones? Howbeit for this call, listen, he just got done saying, I am the most sinniest of sinning niggas that ever sinned. It said for a nigga that sin a lot, that nigga sin a whole lot. This is a faithful saying and worthy of all acceptation that Christ Jesus came into the world to save sinners, of who I am chief. But when you read this Bible, you're supposed to be talking about yourself. I know you say you sin chief, but I'm one born abnormally born. I know I grew up in America and on this end of the timeline, you know, okay? Done seen some shit, as we all have. But he's saying that about himself, but I'm saying that about myself. I don't know nobody that's sinned more than me. Great extremes. And it's funny that God would choose and still reveal itself, if you want to call that God, if you want to use that English words and letters and alphabets that don't exist, not in the grand scheme of things. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Just recognize they don't even use those letters when they cast spells. When people don't use the English letters like that when they cast spells. If you want to get to the real power, and I'm talking about things that go on, we can get to all that. Howbeit, concerning what's just been said, that Christ Jesus came into the world to save sinners, of whom I am chief. He said in verse 16, howbeit, for this cause I obtained mercy, that in me first Jesus Christ might show forth long suffering. If you want to understand what long suffering is, go ahead and break them words down, but take it down into its context in which the teaching has been given to you. That means what 1 Corinthians 13 is describing, talking about, describing love. Everybody sings 1 Corinthians 13 at their wedding, but you don't realize that that's what the call of the consciousness to you, calling your name throughout the chasms of time, calling you through the matrix, through your processes of evolution, constantly, like a mother talking to her child, like a what? You see the rotations of my arm? That's Genesis hovering over the waters. Come on, baby. Why is the Hebrew word for water mayim, mayam? You say Mary in Hebrew, Maryam. And in Sanskrit, everyone knows that the name for the illusion of the world is called Maya. For this cause I came into the world to save sinners, to show you it's not about this thing about being left and right and wrong. I'm not saying you can do anything. Obviously there's traction, but I'm saying it's not this set westernized American code of what things is, what things are. That's not what right and wrong is. You can't call right and wrong right for say you go to work. And don't take any judgment off that, because you're not supposed to judge yourself. If I'm not supposed to judge my brother, don't even open your mouth against your brother. Don't even judge yourself with those illusionary confinements. Because he that walketh after the Spirit, you can't sin, because there's no such thing as sin. Because you are what was manifested in the world when he came down to glory and he breathed into man. All you gotta do is stop for 2 seconds. Or 10. You're not consciously plugged up and controlling your heartbeat. That's just an emanation that's coming out to you straight from the rip right now. You're not thinking heartbeat, oh, stomach pump, digest food, eyes look, move skin, tendons light up. You just use the material. You just use the hardware. You're just using it. But you're not even consciously thinking about it. You are 1% of you're the 1% of the 99% of everything that is right now. You're plugged into it right now. You don't have to go nowhere. You're already plugged in. And I'm gonna speed this up as I move through, but I'm trying to give some traction and be a bridge and tell the truth here. Because if you're gonna tell the truth, you gotta tell the truth from all angles, else it ain't true, babe. It ain't about truth, about what you believe. It's about what you know and how you see. He said, let the eyes become single. Bring it all up. Your eyes become single. And if that light in you is darkness, then great is that darkness. But that light in you is light, then how great is that light? Because you are the light of the world. Because that's what you have to be by essence to be the son of God, to be the heir of God. He came into here to save his brethren. We heard that down in all the mythologies, that the Christ came down, the principle came down to save that which was the similar to it, that which was the same. Not for nothing else, not for what can't be, not that anything can't be, because everything is you. That's just a story. You're supposed to know that you are that. That's why I say, I am that I am. What name are you going to give me? Because I am that I am. I'm this chair too. I'm this wood. I'm this carpet. I'm this stick. I'm your body. I'm your heartbeat. The significance of saying, what name shall I give him, means what thing that we're going to section off, take what we're going to take by itself and call it God, which is limited to your finite human understanding. Calling it one thing that can't be done. That's why, how many names they have in the Bible? How many names do we have for God? How many do we have? 72. Why we got 72 names? That's a way of signifying 72 attributes of what we understand to be. But his name couldn't possibly be God. Even though that's a reference, we act like that's a proper name. I understand what the reference what we're talking about, but we talk about God, we're talking about everything. So how can you say it's one thing? That's why he said, I am that I am. Ayah, Asher, Ayah. Again, how do we grow up in a culture in which we base everything off this? Go to war. Pray in Jesus. Not to offend anybody, but we tend to pray for in war for us to win war the same way that you talk about enemies overseas, pray for that blow up you, and but we do the same thing. You give your money every week. You give your money. You pay taxes on top of taxes. Why would you not study this and know everything about this you possibly can? Whether you get it on some inside information or whether you actually go through and learn about it through the institution that you've been governed in. Like, I don't know, Sunday school in the church. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm saying if we're going to read it, know about it. And this is not hard stuff to understand. It's only been ignored stuff. And that's it. Just stuff that's been ignored. Not because it's too hard to understand, but because we just don't have a chance to sit down and read it. Just to talk about it. Pardon my French, but every freaking word in the Bible is in here. You can look it up and see what stuff means. So when a scholar gives their dissertations and talk about certain things, we should pay more attention to that, especially in the age where this thing is being questioned. How else could we get to the point of knowing about stuff unless we delve into it? You know your favorite sports stats players. You know all they stuff. Shots up, dunks. We know all that. No problem. Cause you like that. Yo, who we he went to such and such state. Oh yeah, he was first round, blah blah, he get paid this much. Oh yeah, well you talking about the one album money. He got that album, he got that, okay, yeah. Everything that's going on. So it's not about you can learn anything, you're an infinite being. It's what do you want to direct your attention to, because you can know anything. Y'all know me. Ain't got nothing to hide. My life been on display since I was 3 or 4 years old. Always on display, 3 or 4 years old. And I've been a pastor's child, and I've diligently searched the scriptures, reverently so, and I still will. You know, I gotta be frank. And I ain't talking to everybody. I'm just talking to the people that get this. Because you think this shit every day anyway. You just don't say nothing. After 2012, most people went like that. God damn it, I did too. Except it was a little bit more like this. Oh, let me just hold on to that for a little bit. Reassess that thing. And it's funny because it wasn't until that year, somehow, might as well get this shit. Going down to family, my sis go down to get this on a vacation. Do you understand what this is? Yeah, many people know, but I'm talking to the people that don't know, that know you should know, because why would a culture go through so much of this just for art and decoration, just to be arty and decorative? We just felt like making 1, 2, 3, however many snakes. We just happened to do that. Sun in the middle. The 8 points, huh? We just happen to do that. What's these things, Corbin? What's this, Corbin? What's all these little things going around here? Why he got his mouth open like that? What's up with all that? Why I gotta start? Why I got this little emblem up here? Why is it at the top and not at the bottom? Why they meeting here? This is an expression of truth. It's an expression. If pictures tell 1,000, then what the fuck is this saying? Excuse my French. You go to these are souvenir toys. It got to the point of souvenir toys. Why is it for? That's all I'm saying. Why is it for? But I was saying that, it's a lot going through my mind right now. It was around 2012 that you start actually seeing on a global scale, at least in my universe, I started seeing everybody asking questions and information coming to light. And it just suddenly you've been asleep for 2 decades and what the fuck? Oh yeah, what the fuck? Yeah. Why Jesus ain't come back yet? Like, yo, it's been 2,000 years. Like, time out. Wait a minute. When I examine biblical history, why is it that I find out that from 0 BC till now is the longest span of inactivity of when God moves in the earth. Why is it such a long time? Why is that such a long time between now, when Jesus supposedly came back the first time, till now? Why has it been 2,000 fucking years? Think about that. When, Adam, we gotta. If we take the story just at its literal level, we can only go back to 4004 BC, as far as back as we can go, because Adam can't be on the planet before then. If we taking the story the way that we was told to take it, I'm not being rude. I'm saying think. I have not yet come at. I haven't come at Christ. I talk to the Christ every day. That's why I'm talking to you now. I've been wake up. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. I'm being facetious, but Jesus won't shut up. What we call Jesus, that what we call Christ, won't shut up. He won't stop. He won't stop talking to me. 4004 BC, then you got Enoch going up in the chair. Everybody know Enoch. What happened to Enoch? Where his testimony at so I can watch it and please God? Where Enoch testimony at? I don't see that nowhere. Or do we? But that's not as much of a long time between Adam and Enoch. And then you come down Enoch, Moses, Tower of Babel, a couple hundred years, maybe. I could have stuff off a little, about 1,000. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't no gap this long. Like, geez, you mean to tell me everybody had the same language back then? We can prove that. We can prove that just by proving that the concepts of language, how we've been given language. This is Native American pictorial language. Everything means something. Okay, Native Americans. Here go the old Ethiopian script. Look at that. Old Enoch. If old Enoch wrote something, he wrote it in these letters. Look at Arabia. Look at that. All the letters of the Hebrew alphabet. How they change and develop over time. How we go from, and this ain't even going back to its most ancient Egyptian. Look at what letters are. They're symbols for information. Look this stuff up online. The letters mean stuff. A, ox. B, tent. Camel. Look at that. We all know Egyptian hieroglyphics. If this means something, then what do these mean? It's funny, we got the ox. We got the bird. And this ain't even all there. This is not even all the letters in the Egyptian alphabet. So what is Hebrew then? What is Hebrew then? And I'm speaking that because I'm not in Saudi Arabia right now. I'm not around the world. I'm talking to you right here on American soil. Right here in this internet, in this time space. Live and uncut. So I'm speaking to you in the way that's most familiar. But please understand that I'm talking about everything. Prove me wrong with truth and not your opinion. But most importantly, talk to yourself first. Do everything that you think makes sense to you. Because I'm going back to scripture. We have to remember these scriptures were teachings and oral teachings until they were written down. So it's not, ABC 1, 2, 3. Even though it is as easy as that, do re mi, it is that easy. But not when we just talking about stuff and don't talk about nothing. Like the fact that we don't teach kids electrons and atoms and particle physics and physics in Sunday school. We teach them a bunch of Bible stories. We don't even teach the basics. We don't teach. We just teach what's been written without. And maybe we never known until now. That's why I said John 4, verse 22 through verse 24. I'm not just looking for the religion no more. It's plenty of that. And I got to say this. You know, we live in a time where we can talk about race and racism and things like that without blowing up about it. You got me. We got you. We got you. You got me. You got okay. Yeah. Now it's time to evolve past that. All right. Yeah. You got me. You got you. All right. You got me. Oh yeah. We got you. That's gonna be funny in about 1,000. No, that's gonna be hilarious. But we can go ahead and move past fuck past that now, because we understand. And you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. You can go in the direction of what makes sense, because whatever is true, that's what Christ is all about. How can anything be untrue if we talking about the thing that made the world? We're talking about the logos. When it say in the beginning was the word, it says that's the logos. That's the logic of God. That's the mind of God. That's the eye of source. That's the everything to everything, and that's you. Right now. It's supporting you right now the same way it's supporting your heartbeat. Even when you're eating a greasy cheeseburger. When you're doing your worst dirt. Before you even become conscious of it. That energy, that's Ayo, use the force, Luke. That's the force. It's upholding you and everything good. And it's been doing this evolution thing on this planet. I'm going to say at least about a good 60 bill. Probably a good 60 bill. You know, so we've been good. And we're going to continue to be good. Now it's just time to start thinking good. But not. We'll get there. I'm gonna start a activity or a picture photo on Facebook called 1,001 words. If a picture tell 1,000 words, what will 1,001 pictures tell you? And that's just from me to you, baby. All right, the history of religion, the records of the past. This is bigger than Nicaea. It's not like you can go out. It's not like you, as being a Christian or being someone who says they believe. It's not like you're not going to run into these things, because you're going to run into it, especially if you're actually doing what the Great Commission is. What's the Great Commission? To go out into the world and gather all that. Gather my elect. That's the same action that was going on in the beginning when she was hovering over the waters. The Spirit hovered over the waters like a mother bird, gathering in her life, gathering the light, gathering it up, building it up, bringing it to herself. Think of it as, that's the same action as, that's a type of action of the motion of the Kepler beetle. Gathering up the life to itself. And if you're doing that Great Commission, you go out, you talk, you explore, you ask questions, and you run into truth. But we've reached a time in history in which certain things have to be addressed because we come so far in the progress of our consciousness and our awareness and understanding and understanding. I don't want to get into it right now. I don't want to get into it right now. But go look up Serapis and what was going on. A book by G.R.S. Mead. G.R.S. Mead. I gotta say it. Did Jesus live 100 BC? How do you know about time? How do you know what really went on? And that's one of the things why I'm making this address. Because Jeremiah says, fire is shut up in my bones. I can't stay. He said, I can't stay. You people draw nigh unto me with your lips, but your hearts is far from me. I'm not sending down a thunderbolt. I'm just talking about the general state for those who don't see. If you do see, great. Awesome. We're not stirring up hate, we're stirring up love, because that's the answer. That's the missing piece to the whole puzzle the whole time. The missing piece to the Trinity was you. The missing piece, Christ said, I'm coming back to gather my elect. That's the same action in the beginning. That's the same thing as him speaking to the 7 churches in Revelations, which your 501c3 pastor ain't having. Isaiah 61, he said, yo, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me to preach the gospel to the poor, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because the Lord hath anointed me to preach the good tidings. Good tidings. It gotta be good news. If it ain't good news, that's not glad tidings. I've been told when I came out the womb, you a sinner, you a piece of shit. Growing up with that sort of sense of sin and guilt and shame constantly, when that's the very thing that Christ in the story came to release you from. How can I go to church and then grow up with this message but still feel the oppression? He had anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. What the meek mean? The meek mean the humble of heart. David said, the meek shall inherit, Moses said, the meek shall inherit the earth. David said, I'm going to tell my praises, but the humble shall hear thereof and be glad. The humble shall be glad. Who the humble? He said, those that's poor in spirit. Blessed are they. I'm not talking about be less. I'm saying go ahead and say what you mean, because you the source and the source know what you mean. And that's the magic of the one, that I can do anything. So I can even overstand your language barrier and bring you back. Because you can't be lost, because you and me and I and you, and you and the Father and I and one, and we the same. Because he said in that day when you realize that you and me and I and you, he said you're going to ask the Father what you will and it shall be done. And the Father is the source. If you heard of Abraham's vortex, that's the same damn thing. And it's supporting your heart right now. It's what keep you alive when you sleep, because you are that, and that is you, and you and me, and I and you. This is the Christ that died on the cross for you, telling you that, yo, you and me, I and you. Say, yo, what you doing? What you doing? Get up, get up. I don't call you servants no more. I call you friends. Read John chapter 15. Because why? A slave or servant don't know what his master does, but you do. How do you know? Because you got the word of God. Where's the word of God? It says a faithful witness in the heavens. A steady testifying of the truth. What's been going on around? What's been going on? What's been going on? Where's she at? Hey, well, she hiding on me. What's been going on for thousands of years? That shit that don't lie. Let me get a picture for you. You might got flip this. Books have been written and rewritten. Falsehoods have been taught to the masses. Oh, but that which was written in stone has remained the same, and it shall remain the same forever. Because now we're going to take it off the stone. We're going to put it back in our heart. See, we had to write it on stone because we was like stone men, because we went through the dark period, the dark ages. And now he said in John 31, in Ezekiel 36, I'm going to give you a heart of flesh and take away from you the heart of stone. We had to carve our hearts outside of us exoterically. They put our hearts all up in these stories, stuff that happened with the evolution of the body and evolution of consciousness, and the Christ coming back and all that. We put it on stone, and then when we dig up the stone, not even to the thousands of years later, and say, oh shit, this is me. That's why he said, he that study the word, I'm going to go back to Timothy, don't let no one despise his use, because you the first one to understand this in this generation. When he crossed over in the wilderness, when he brought him out of Egypt, it said in Revelations, he died in Jerusalem and spiritually Egypt. So the only way that's now. Spiritually Egypt, what happened, this when we first started losing our consciousness during that time period, as time waned down and our conscious level start getting real low. So we wrote this stuff down for us so that we remember when our consciousness wake back up. You just telling the story, but you're telling the story a different way. He that got an ear to hear, let him hear what the Spirit saying to the churches. All up your understanding. How many chakras you got? You got 7. How many eyes of the Lord got? He got 7. How many seals is it? In Revelation, 7 seals going up the backside. How many times I gotta walk around Jericho? 7. How many days of creation? 7. How many you can go on and on with that, but why I gotta be 7 though? Why is 7 stars in the Big Dipper? Who even marked that out? And that's why I said go ahead and do your research, because there's nothing to fear, because this word of God is forever, it's eternal. And I'm talking about this, and I gotta say this, because the time now is, we got this, but baby, my good brethren, don't forget this, okay? You know, I got 2 of them joints. Why is it a Kaaba? Did you know that they march around the Kaaba over across the seas, march around the Kaaba like that? Okay. But heaven has the exact same dimensions. Why does heaven have a cube? Go look in Revelations. It says the city is as tall as it is wide. And they got 12 gates to the city. That's 3 times 4, that's 12. Why? But don't forget that. You know, I'm going to just start throwing books out. Hero with 1,000 faces. The hero with 1,000 faces. That's why I say it's bigger than just Nicaea. See, as we have learned the book in such a way in which we have memorized the story, but we have been sapped of the content and the true comfort that comes from that. There's nothing to fear, baby. He said in Philippians, let not your heart be anxious for nothing. I don't care if the plane's coming down and they standing outside and the guns is going off and you in the club and they about to pop that, whatever. Didn't you see that movie? I think it was it 10,000 BC? It was in 10,000 BC, one of the Mel Gibson joints. No, the Apocalypto. When he was cutting his throat, he said, look, don't worry about that. Because you live forever. When you understand that, when you understand who you are, you live forever. You already live forever. You're not going to die because you and me, and I and you, and I and you, and I'm the Father, and we are one. Why am I doing this right now? This is not at all how I planned on fucking doing it. This is how it's coming out. And it's even dawned on me right now. What kind of world do you want to live in where you have to keep up facades and facilitates on how you really are because you can't get ahead on that frequency? Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to get ahead anyway. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna be a yes man to myself. I'm gonna do it anyway. Why? Because I can do anything through him that give me strength. That's why I'm still alive now. I left crumbs and gingerbreads for everybody just to get to this point and come back to this point and get back to this point. I've been thinking about it for a while. I know you've been watching me, but just to get here. Just to get right here. I'm doing this because zeal for your temple, it said zeal for his temple consume me. Now consume is like fire. It's not exactly the passions of the hellfire that consumed me that was going on out there all up in here. It's not exactly the hellfire that consumed me, but it was the zeal for your temple. That's the same type of consumption that was shut up in Jeremiah's bones. I'm just letting you know why I'm doing this, because you is me, I is you. We all one in the Father anyway. You know, I do that, but it's okay if you do that. Do this, boom, bap. Everybody out here jamming. I'm coming with the twang, you know, the way we grew up. This how it sticks so down deep. I can't think of no way how this how it's coming out. But he that got ear to hear, let him hear what the Spirit saying to the church, because God is not dumb. Whatever you call God, God is not dumb. It's perfect intelligence. There is no question or challenge that you can ask that can't be given an answer without waiting to go to heaven to get the answer, because I don't need an answer in heaven. When I drop this book, it makes a thud. This is the textbook. You're supposed to, if you go by that, you're supposed to read it and understand. Look at this. Fella, just open to this page. I got all these notes here. Have you ever read Proverbs 8? It said wisdom build her hewing out her pillars. She had built her 7 pillars. She had built her 7 pillars and made her house. Why is it 7? Why are we talking about that in the Old Testament? Pillars talking about building a temple. 7 churches. 7 spirits. 7 eyes of God. There's no soul that's going to be left behind. Not one soul shall be left behind. Because I love all my children. I love all my creation. Even if you was made in a freaking rat lab, in some underground cave or somewhere, you gotta know exactly where you are. You just gotta lean to that attention. Just lean with that way, and you know what it is, because it's out here obvious in front of us every day. We already know we got to surrender. We might as well surrender to it. And this all has led me to my bag. You know, I got my little bag here. You know, certain things that I just got to be addressed. You know, I'm gonna mix them up, and the reason I'm doing this is because I plan on showing information that, yeah, you call me crazy, but I hope you're thinking about it tomorrow. Shit that we all live with, that, come on, why I gotta be this? Why we gotta go there? I told myself, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go all the way in, because all I know how to go is 100%. It's the same way. Everything I do, obsessive, compulsive, run hard instead of trying to finesse like the other running backs. I'd rather just run straight, just knock everything over. All right. I'd rather read the books than the material. I'd rather go through the material. You understand? I'd rather break it down. I'd rather break it down and go through the material. Go through it. We all gonna walk through it. Definitely coming back to that. But you know why I got to be Horus though. I just wrote down some ideas. Why I got to be Horus. When you switch up the letters in Horus, the words become hours. We know it was 12. We know they started the calendar. 12 days, 12 months of the year, 12 hours in a day. Everything you know comes from Egypt, even the word chemical itself. The word chemical itself comes from Egypt. Because they were studying everything. When you take precedence, like things like in the court, when you take precedence for things that come before, you have precedence in Egypt for medical history. You see that sign on the back of your medical. Everything comes from that. I'm just bringing this up to show that Egypt is relevant. It's relevant to my worldview because it's even how I think. And as I said before, I probably shouldn't throw all these damn books around here. All language mean things. We got ancient Hebrew as hieroglyphics when they came out of Egypt. When Abraham came from India, and Abraham come from India, West India, and he come over to the Middle East. We have to remember Jerusalem was already a city. We got this Phoenician language. Yerushalayim. Ain't no J's. We know ain't no J's. When you say it back, Yerushalayim. Yeru. Got the head of the R. Still see the R shape. Shalom. Point out the way to wholeness. Yerushalayim is Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim. Look at the pattern of migrations. If the pattern of migrations of people migrate off the world and we all come from the same traditions, that means the same type of symbolism will be taken everywhere. Abraham come from India. And before he was even born, there was already a story. Who's Abraham's wife? Abraham and Sharashti. Abraham, I'm talking about in the religion. Brahman and Sharashti. We come over here to Egypt. I mean to Canaan land, and now it's Abraham and Sarah. Even SRA for the name Sarah before she got named to Sarah, it was Sarai. We say Sarah. Somebody who is a nobleman over there, we say Shri. In Sanskrit, or the popular language over there in India. Just reaching in my bag here. Do we read the Bible or do we study the Bible? Do we actually know what the Bible say? Or do we just listen to it a couple times on Sunday, read it a couple times during the week, get our little scripture study in, but never go any deeper, asking any deeper questions? Look at this. I'm just pulling them out the bag. Mazaroff. Go ahead. Accuse me. Go ahead and accuse me of blasphemy, but you need to prove me wrong. Genesis 1:14. On the fourth day, okay, and God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament. Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. And let them be for lights and the firmament in heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. This God said. And God made two great lights, and the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. So we talking about what we talking about. Because it said, and he made the stars also. We got sun, moon, and stars. And God set them in the firmament above the heaven to give light upon the earth. Not just light, as in physical light, but conscious light. Help us to see things thereby. You know, keep track of shit. Understand some things. Keep track of shit. This word Mazzaroth is in the Bible. And here we see in the first chapter of Genesis, it said, let them be there lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. So we talk about keeping track of time. How long we been in this thing? And let them be for lights and for the lights of the firmament of the heavens to give light upon the earth, and it was so. So we talking about two different things. We talking about an A category and a B category. Let them be for signs and for seasons, for days and for months and for years. That's keeping track of time. And let them be for light in the firmament to give light upon the earth. Sun and moon. Minus and negative. Good and bad. Light and dark. Good and evil. Thought we weren't supposed to eat from the tree of good and evil. But we already in that concept just by having the light in the day. And Jesus always relate his coming to the coming of the sun, the coming of the day and night. The Prince of Darkness. This is the rubric for that. But we also have the A category, keeping time. And that means everything that goes with it. And that's why I had to bring up the word Mazzaroth. Because this is in your Bible. It's in your Bible. Why I had to go in so long? I'm not gonna be able to finish here until I finish. I didn't want to do this, God. I didn't want to do this. Look at this. It's not even what I'm looking for, but I was looking for the book of Job. It said Job. What did it say? Job has 7 sons and 3 daughters. Ain't that something? Yeah, 7 sons and 3 daughters. Look at that. See, this us living down in sin down here. I ain't saying I'm any different, but I'm just saying what you see, it all goes away. We've been living down in sin. It said Job fell among ashes, sat down in the ashes. Job, Jesus said a man fell among thieves, fell down to the bottom. This ain't nothing but the anatomy of your being, you infinite God, you. Job has 7 sons and 3 daughters. But what I was really looking for was Job 9. Read Job 9, and it says, this Job talking to God. Everybody know the story. He in his sin. Hey, you see my servant Job? Go fuck him up. He go fuck up Job because he had to ask God. I'm purposely being ruffling your feathers because I want you to get off the story so much and get into the story. He fucking him up. Boils breaking out on his hands and stuff. He said, God, where you at? What's going on? Why am I going through this? As Ravi said, I thought if I be bad, I get bad. If I be good, I get good. I've been good, I got bad. What's going on? So, but he's ranting and going on a tirade back to God in chapter 9. And Job, the story, he say, talking about God, he who commands the sun, Job 9:7-9, and it rises not, and sealeth up the stars, which alone spreadeth out the heavens, which maketh Arcturus, Orion, and the Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. Job calling out actual stars. I mean, I'm not talking about, don't get lost in looking at what the English meaning. That means something else. I'm talking about what the Hebrew said in Mazzaroth, because if we ain't supposed to be paying attention to stars, they shouldn't have no name for what the heavens is called the Mazzaroth. Matzur. That's the name of one of the sons of Ham. We know the Hamites, the Hamitic race, Hammurabi, all them, the Ethiopians, they all had the same intelligence. Basic shit. Of which God has given them in Genesis 1:14 and 15 again, when it says keep track of the stars and moons and suns and years, and keep days and times and years, keeping track of time. So this is a word relating to that. Matzur. Arcturus is the great bear. And there goes 7 again. Job 38. It says, Canst thou bind the sweet influence of the Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion? Canst thou bring forth the Mazzaroth in his season, or canst thou guide Arcturus with his sons? Knowest thou the ordinance of heaven? Canst thou set dominion thereof in the earth? Don't you know the ordinance of heaven? David said, I'll obey your statutes, your laws, your ordinances, your precepts. Your statutes, your laws, your ordinances, your precepts. It's different types of things. I'm just showing a couple of facets right now. When you look at the Hebrew calendar, how they kept track of things. Oh, okay. Nisan. All these. One of the Jones is the zodiac. Okay. This is common sense. You go Egyptian zodiac. You got Taurus. You know what I'm saying? What does he do? Is he a bull? Are those horns? What is this? Why is that the first letter of the alphabet? For the Hebrew Semitic script, Aleph, A, B, Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Epsilon, all that. You know, I forgot we did it. We had to do it in school. Mu, Nu, Pi, Omicron, Pi, Rho, Sigma, all that, yada, yada, yada. I understand. The whole alphabet, though. And it goes back. We trace it back. Oxhead, A. Look at this picture. Thank you, Savon Bomar. Thanks, Savon Bomar. Oxhead, A, Aleph. Talking about the zodiac sign. They even go to the Chinese characters. But we talking about, look, the Phoenician script, the Hebrew script. They go that Oxhead. Trying to find that picture again. I should get really more organized. So when you see the Oxhead and the Taurus, that's when they plant seeds during that time of year. You understand? Plant seeds, and then down September is when they harvest it. How many months is that? Let's see. Let me see. 1, yeah. April, May, June, July, August, September. 1, 2, 3, 4. That John said yam fucked me up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. March. What is September? Septiembre. 7. September. Shabbat. Sabians. Septenary. 7. Siete. The 7th month in the harvest. I'm only saying there's so much more to this book than we have been led to believe collectively. Mazarov. If the Egyptian zodiac, and we got the Mayan calendar keeping track of time, we got the proof that all the languages come from star languages. We are stardust, right? Even Native American stuff means shit. Shit means shit. It ain't just a bunch of, oh, let's make this say that. So we know that mean that. No, it's very carefully thought out, coming from intelligent people. I don't know, that built the pyramids. Might have a bit of intelligence on their hand, but I can't find it. The point is to even be aware. Most of us know about astrology. Even be aware of that means somebody had to be on Earth at least 26,000 years to get a look at all the zodiac signs. Somebody had to be there standing up at night for at least 26,000 years so they can keep track of shit. Else they won't be able to see it during the day. And we have the history going back as far as our mind can stretch. So when God say, answering to Job, bitching the guy, hey, look, man, look. And another thing, he said, I wish God would bring his ass down here so I can talk to him. Because the way he said it was supposed to be disrespectful. That's why you go read the story. It's supposed to be disrespectful. And another thing, take that tone, because the scriptures are written for our example, not to judge us and condemn us. We're supposed to identify with them. Don't say you ain't been through some shit. Like, God, what the fuck, God? Like, come on, man. Like, come the fuck on, man. Like, come on, get real. And that's the tone in which he is mouthing off to God. But then God coming down, he start answering him in chapter 38, saying the same things that he's saying in Proverbs 8. Talking about the beginning of the world. Where were you when all the morning stars sang together? It's right here. That's in the book. That's coming right out the Corpus Hermeticum. Got the Big Dipper. What did Harriet Tubman follow on the way back? Follow the drinking God. Why she talking about that? And then God said to Job, can you bind up the sweet influence of the Pleiades? Can you overcome those 7 sisters singing? Can you do that? Or loose the bands of Orion? Can thou bring forth the Mazzaroth in his season? Can you bring forth the Mazzaroth in the season? Or canst thou guide Arcturus with his son, Arcturus being the Big Dipper or the Great Bear? Can you guide Arcturus with his 7 sons? Knowest thou the ordinances of the heavens? Canst thou set the dominion thereof in the earth? Can you set the dominions of the heavens? We're using figures of speech, y'all. Can you order yourself in pattern after that? Can you do that? That's what it means. I ain't saying I have attained. I didn't say I'm walking on water. Although what is walking on water? I ain't shot no Dragon Ball Z Jones out yet. But I'm walking on air. This is not how I intended it to go. But when it said fear the Lord, what does fear mean? We speak English. We speak English. Why we just accept that? We just accept that, oh yeah, that's David Starr without looking. Not to say it's a bad thing. But when you match them up, what is it? Fear the Lord, fire, earth, air, and river. And that's the beginning of knowledge. That's the beginning of knowledge. That's the beginning of knowledge. If you don't know this, how can you start to have knowledge? Not to say that you can't, because you don't have to have rocket science. But if you listen in religion and you rejecting certain principles about life, how can you grow? That's what I'm saying. The Christ said, I'm going to return. But he said, when I come to the earth, am I going to find faith on the earth? You got to drink my blood. You going to leave too? What does it mean to drink his blood? Are we just talking about communion? If you don't eat my body and drink my blood, you won't have no part with me. You got to be my body. My body. My body. That's you. You're the temple not made by man's hands. This is the beginning of knowledge and wisdom. Jesus got baptized in water. He rose up in the air. His body was made of earth. Then he got baptized with fire. And they was in the upper room. They had already mastered their emotions. They had already been baptized. Then it said the sound from heaven came from the air like a rushing mighty wind. They was all filled with the Holy Ghost with fire. And it sat upon each of them like cloven tongues. Cloven tongues. There go that lotus flower breaking up. When that thing, that understanding finally bursts forth in your heart, that truth you've been waiting to hear your whole life. It said the fire set on them like cloven tongues and sat upon each of them. All 12 of them. That means your full understanding. All the disciples in you. You know you got 12 cranial nerves? When God reached all your cords, he plucked all your strings. He said, I didn't do my truth hidden in the corner. That's in the Old Testament. He said, my stuff's so simple a baby can understand me. He said, why y'all wash the outside of the cup when inside your dead man's bones? A dead man bones. That's Ezekiel 37 when he said, can these bones live? He said, thou knowest. Why? Because who hath believed our report? Who hath believed our report? Oh, the young boy, Timothy, those taken from his babes, from his breasts, those weaned off the milk. And then right after that, when we talk about who have believed our report, what did he say? We said, Jesus said, I thank God that he's taking this from those the wise. That means if you think you know everything, then you don't know nothing. But if you start over, you get to learn everything because your cup got to be empty to get something. And Avatar, when he walked up to him, stuck him with that thing, tasted his blood. It was then she said, well, he got a chance. And he said, but it's hard to fill a cup that's full. He said, oh, trust me, I'm empty, baby. He been walking around limp. That's the limp man that walked around limp and Jesus came and healed him. I hate to say it to you because I'm going to get there. That's Horace. Y'all know Horace laid down limp. And Mathali laid down limp, couldn't walk. That means because he couldn't stand upright. He wasn't grown yet. But then when the Spirit of God comes, it fills you with life. But you got to be a baby to understand. It means you got to have your cup empty. And she called him a scown. But he grew up, didn't he? And what was his name? Harumakto. Harumakto. Psalms 8. O Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth, who has set their glory above the heavens. Above the heavens. I'm not saying This is knowledge about God. This is the evidence and testimony of God. This is breast milk. You're supposed to drink this. Understand this. You're supposed to drink this. You're supposed to eat this day and night. What do you mean when you say Ab, our Father, A-B? What do Ab mean? Olive, ox head. And it means strength. Hold on, Mama calling me. Give me 1 second. Yeah. All right, I'll be out in about give me about a half an hour. I still live with my moms. I haven't made it in society yet. Or have I? Tent floor plan. Bet. What does it mean? Gotta turn that around. Family house. We got Ab, strength of the house. The strength of the house. That's father. That's the word for father. We say Abba for father. Ab. A-B. We call God Abba, our father. The strength of the house. That word has meaning. These words have meaning. I've set my glory above the heavens, which means this is telling you about you. You are greater than ever. You are the greatest. You are the Son of God. You and me, and I and you. And that day we understand, you going to ask the Father, and whatsoever you ask is going to be done. Because this is your gift. When the first thing out Christ's mouth is, the kingdom is in you. The kingdom is in you. All that out there is really in you because you made of stardust. You set your glory above the heavens. Go read Romans 1:19 and 20 when it says, the fool, said, God is left without excuse because the heavens declare the glory of God. It can't be anathema for us to look to the heavens to understand things if these things being said is Genesis 1:14 when he said, let the signs, the sun, the moon, the stars be for days and months and weeks and years and all that, and the seasons. And we see that they was plugged up to the thing. When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars which thou hast ordained. What is man that thou art mindful of him, and that thou visitest him? The same way he visited Job and restored everything. The same way he visited the sick woman. The same way he visited Daniel when he was in the lion's den. Meaning, visit him mean that you restore him out of his condition. You restore him to his former pre-fallen Adamic state when we become like the children of God again. We are the children of God. You, me, black, white, yellow, blue, black, shaman, everybody. If you got this then you are called indeed. If I resonate with you right now, you are the called indeed. There's no more reason to be afraid of anything. Thou hast made him a little lower than the angels and crowned him with glory and honor. Look at that, glory and honor. Now look, that word, when you look it up on the blue of the Bible with that dictionary, that word is Elohim. It's probably blurs them up. But that word is Elohim, not Malak, because angels will be Malak. That'll be Melachim. It don't say that in Hebrew. It said, made him little Lord Elohim. That's why it said little Lord than the angels in the English translation, but it don't say that Elohim is God. In the beginning was God. So it said, thou made him little Lord than the gods. Just a little lower than the gods. And these was the gods in the ancient times, and so was the planets. but you set your glory above the heavens. I'm not a slave to that. I master my own destiny. All sheep and oxen, thou made him have dominion over the works of thy hands and put all things under his feet. He said, sit on my right hand till I make the enemy a footstool for your feet. All sheep and oxen, yea, the beasts of the field, the flower of the air, and everything, and the fish of the sea, whatsoever passes through the seas. O Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth. Taking way too long here. Oh yeah, ain't no coming back from this, baby. I'm already dead. Hell. See, I'm in my bag, yo. I'm in my bag, see? Walmart bag, too. See the square? Hell. I'm just gonna start saying stuff. I'm gonna post more videos. We gonna just keep it moving. Ain't no such thing as no damn hell. I tried. Damn it, y'all. I tried to ease into it and not say nothing, not declare nothing, and try not to be too objective with it. But goddamn it, this how it's coming out. Y'all know when I played football, I gotta do this to y'all. You know why? Cause you my family. Y'all in the room with me right now. We all in the same world. I'm doing this cause y'all my family. That's why. Look at this shit. I want you to remember we talking about hell right now. Numbers. Can't wait to get to that. Well, you know we talk about hell. I'm going to take this off. I think I made my point. Oh, the goddamn trophies. The goddamn trophies. Ryan Bonds, outstanding linebacker. Look. Second team all state. Got these Jones locked up in a damn box in my closet. I don't even got them on display. Look at it. Coming apart. What the fuck? Yo, you know I didn't keep track of this shit. This is probably the third time I'm reading this in my life. If you ask me today, if you asked me 15 minutes ago how many yards I have, I couldn't tell you. I put a helmet on. I strapped my helmet up. And I went forward. I wasn't the fastest nigga. And I damn sure wasn't the most adept nigga at all. Nigga had 23 touchdowns. Yo, the lineman did that. All I did, put a helmet on and run forward. My goddamn eyes closed most of the time. Because I was scared. See, when I played football, Brian Bonds was thinking about hell and not dying and breaking his neck. I just happened to be a strong nigga. You see what they do in the NFL. Niggas is freaks. Okay, so I'm physically one of them. Pretty normal. So I happened to get away. I wasn't running through, yeah, nigga, bitch, get off me, bitch. Yeah, motherfucker, yeah. No, that wasn't me. I was running through. Oh, God! Saying, you ain't hear me say it. You probably seen it in my eyes, but you didn't hear me say it. Oh, God! Don't let me die! Running forward, strong, scared, adrenaline pumping, running for, oh, God! Get out the way! After every play, I said, oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I did the paper soldier. God is so good. Oh, God, it's so good. Every play. Woo! When I broke my shoulder, when I injured my knee, that sounded like David. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house. Nigga, I was glad when they said unto me, your knee messed up, your arm broken. I was like, yes. Because, nigga, I ain't had to worry about hell for a couple weeks. Because I thought about it every day. My father was a pastor. I believe the story 1,000%. That's why I'm coming hard at hell. Ain't no such thing as no damn hell. This is hell. Until you make it heaven, it's only hell. Like Job, he sat down among ashes. And eventually God restored him when he visited him. When did he visit him? Now was the day of visitation. It said, when you hear the day of visitation, harden not your hearts. Remember, and I was saying in the beginning, we put our heart on stone outside of us, on temple walls that describe everything going on inside. You got 12 cranial nerves. Jesus Christ, the 13th piece, the head of the body, the consciousness. That's you. Allah, arm, leg, arm, head. Yes, that is some real shit. I don't even want to show you the rest of the trophies. I just want to be dramatic. Because hell has taken over our lives and has been controlling our every move from the day we came out the womb. And we find out in 2017, as our consciousness is increasing, we have access to the internet. We learned about electrons and protons and neutrons in kindergarten now. We learned that the Catholic Church made up hell. It don't exist. This is hell. Until you make it not hell. Because you can do anything you want. You don't have to obey anything. You don't have to obey anything out there that you don't agree with. And there's nothing to fear. Only room and reason for rejoicing. Because you're going to know that I am in you and you in me. And I am me the Father one. And we will say whatever you ask is going to be done. I give my angels guarding over you. It shall protect you. I know my thoughts about you. To do good, not harm you. As I watched over you for evil, I'm watch over for good. I, the Lord, I do good and evil. Balance, Suko. Balance. Hell don't exist. I'm just cutting it raw. Because maybe you need to know it. The fires of adversity he was talking about was the fire of adversity in your trial. He said in James 1 and Peter 1, count it all joy, beloved, when you go through fiery trials and temptations, which come for the what? To test your patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that it tests you, that you be not lacking anything, and realize that you in him. We have the gift of the divine providence. Where's the kingdom? He said, it's in you. That was the first message. The kingdom is in you. Blessed are those that are poor in spirit, for they shall laugh. Ain't that what Buddha did? Didn't he laugh? When you finally figure it out. Look at this. We are nature. Rivers of the Amazon. Just like the blood vessel. Just like the leaf. I gotta go back in my bag, y'all. These are some things I've written down. I gotta say it. You know why? You know why I'm saying it? Because the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He hath anointed me to preach the gospel and bring glad tidings to the prisoners. I can't get the exact word in writing, but I'm talking about Isaiah 61. He that have an ear to hear, let him hear. But who have believed our report? Good tidings, glad tidings. I bring you glad tidings. Not news of destruction and hate and fear and war. That's not the news I bring you. I didn't bring to tell you that I'm coming back to fuck up everybody and send them to hell. That's not why I came back. He said, I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly. Go back in my bag. I may never get chance to do this, so I might as well just finish it out. tithes. Tithes. I'm going to speed through this. Go through all the scriptures that talk about tithes. It's always quoting Malachi, and it's always quoting that Mark scripture. He said, he says, when you sow this much, you're going to get XXX. The preacher told us, prove me herewith if I don't pour you out a blessing. But if you don't give your tithes, I'm going to curse you with a curse. And then they enforced that what Jesus said, you got to sow your seed, give 30, some 60, some 100-fold. So that's 30, some 60, some 100-fold, or excuse me, 90-fold. That means that's at least, if we know anything about banking, anything about your returns and investments, because that's what we preach these days, then you should know that you get I should get at least 30 cents on the dollar plus what I put in. So that's 30 cents on the dollar. If I put $1 in, I'm supposed to get down 30 cents back minimally at some point, whether it be in 2 weeks, a month, 3 weeks, next week, 6 weeks, a month. When I added my checkbook, I'm supposed to have 30 cents on the dollar plus what I sold in. Evidence is, say this is one seed, this one big ass seed. How can I get 30% of at least one stalk? He said you're going to get 30, 60, 90 times what was sown. So you can't say, oh, well, the Lord gave me 30. I put $100 in. The Lord gave me $30 back. That's the word. No, you should have got $130 back because you're supposed to get what you put in. But we never caught that. So that means God owed me $30. He owed me $30 on everything. He owed me 30% of everything I put in. But it's 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. You still broke. You still struggling. That's all I'm going to say about that. If he said, prove me herewith and see me herewith, well, God, I've been trying you for about 30 years. You owe me some money, God. I ain't saying disrespectfully. I'm saying that because do not know be about my father's business. If my father telling me numbers and shit, 30, 60, 100 fold, I'm not dumb. I live in the American system. Go by the 100 system, dollar, 30%. So time what was sown, I'm supposed to get $1.30 back on the dollar. And it's 20 years later, God, you owe me some money. I'm in my bag. The return of Christ. We've been talking about this the whole time. The return of Christ, he said, obviously I bang with all the religions, okay? I talk to everybody. Rabbi Zacharias said, if you can laugh at somebody's religion, that's proof you don't understand it. If you can just dismiss, oh, piss y'all, that means you don't understand it. The return of Christ, when I talk with the Jehovah's Witness, they always say that. What does that word mean? They say, how you know Christ gonna be coming back? If it says the word is parousia, which is the Greek word for presence, not bodily presence, because they always say, because Paul used that same example when he was talking about the church, and he said, would y'all rather I be with y'all and whatever, but they used the word parousia, so he wasn't talking about his physical presence, he was talking about his presence in spirit. But we don't teach that because we just go to Sunday school and look at coloring books, a bunch of white people with blue eyes, and nothing that's wrong with that. But we just stop at that simple level and never take it beyond its understanding of what do shit mean. If the whole language means something. I'm saying to say when Christ said he returned, it says, how the Jehovah's Witnesses said, how you know Christ is coming? He said, because it's going to be a slaughter because of his presence. That's why you say 144,000 is going to be caught up to the heavens. But that's how you're going to know, because it's going to be a slaughter of the wicked. But not a slaughter of the wicked as in some bloody bath, some bloodbath from some evil tyrant God. Why would God do that? Why would God kill millions of people like Hitler, like kill millions of people, and that be the answer? Or you know what? I'm just gonna kill everybody. What type of God is that? And I'm saying that because the same God that gave you this book, put it in the hands of Catholic people, and these Catholic people have come out with books and tapes. I got not John Hone. I can't even go through the amount of books I have in here. You know what I'm saying? We go through the Holy Kabbalah, Celestial Ship of the North, all that, all saying the same thing. And you know, mine's a little racy right now, but the return of Christ is in you. We reach the time where we can compass and compare what things mean, and all I'm doing is just telling the truth. These same scholars and the Catholic priests that gave you this Bible is the same people that came out and just told you that they created hell when they wrote the book, because it don't exist. But that's the main selling point on Christianity. If you don't believe me, I'm going to fuck you up. Because I love you so much. And that's the way that's our answer chosen. That's a chosen answer to God's solution for the world. Go look me up on Wikipedia. Yeah, I'm with Chris Hitchens in there. I was at that debate. It really disturbed me as a Christian who was about it. The fact that at the end of that, my heart was burning because the man was telling some truth. There's no difference in the solution, the way God handles things in the Christian, Western, Occidental sense than what you call your enemy. But that's the solution. The slaughter is not the slaughter of human beings. It's not the slaughter of people. It's the slaughter of your own personal war. If you ever read the Divine Comedy, or if you ever sat one moment in meditation and try to keep still, hear all the demon voices coming to you, or whatever you want to call them, all the inner voices. That's the battle. That's C.S. Lewis' last battle. I'm in my bag, trying to hurry up and get out because I only got 10% left. Only got a tithe. I was about to call it a wrap and say if I don't find it, I'm going to go through these. I might finish them on another day. Numbers. Numbers. What's this thing with all these numbers? No, because if you're telling me these numbers, that means I got to study. Why is the fourth book of the Bible called Numbers? A span. He said Abraham measured out with the span of his hand, measuring out the ark. How long is the span? The span of a man's hand. How long is that? 9 inches. A cubit, 18 inches. 1 plus 8 is 9. 144,000 caught up. 1 plus 4 plus 4 is 9. 666. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. You born in 9 months. 360 degrees in a circle. 3 plus 6 is 9. He told Peter and them, go cast on the boat. Throw your nets on the boat. Where? On the right side. How many fish they catch? 153 fish. Why can't it be a flat 150? Why gotta be 153 fish? 1 plus 5 plus 3 is 9. 9. Why so all this 9 going on? 9 spirits. 9 fruits of the spirits. Once you overstand and master yourself, you get the 9 fruits of the spirits. 9 gifts of the spirits. 9 fruits, 9 gifts. 153 fish, 144,000. 9. Build the ark by measures of 9. 9 is spirit. You are spirit. You was built by 9. You was built by 9. I can't even get my pictures out, but I pull this one out. This is pretty good. The one with the... Here you go. The measures of the universe. The Ark of the Covenant. The Fibonacci spiral. The spirit means it wasn't your governor or your president or your mullah or your imam or, you know, your bodhisattva or whatever, or not bodhisattva, but, you know, your Shri or whatever you want to call it. They didn't build the universe. They didn't make the temple. They just talk about it to you. But you are that. You was built by 9 principles of mathematics and atoms and molecular quasars and numbers and all that stuff. You was built by 9. When you add numbers up, numbers don't lie. What's the speed of light? What's the speed of light? What's the speed of light? 186,000 miles per hour, roughly. When they was in the wilderness, when they was in the wilderness, this is a really good time to have a pen hand. When they was in the wilderness, they camped in the wilderness for 40 days. Jesus in the wilderness for 40 days. 4 elements. They was in the wilderness. They had to camp in the temple. North, south, west, east. Judah. North, south, west, and east. The temple opening, the door to the temple was right here. Here go the Holies of Holies, Ark of the Covenant. Ain't nothing in there. We're going east. C.S. Lewis says we're going east. It was 12 tribes of Israel. This ain't the zodiac, but 12 zodiac signs. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 tribes is 12. But Judah was on the side of the east, which is the side that the sun come up on, facing the east. And Judah being on the east was 186,000 tribe members in the tribe, going the speed of light. That's the speed of light. And the first thing God made was light. So that means the first thing he made was you. I knew you in the beginning, before the foundations of the world. Genesis 1, verse 2, or verse 3, excuse me, he said, let there be light. I can't find my Bible. Let there be light. He saw that it was good. That means when he seen you in the beginning, he seen that you was good. That's why he called you out. If you hearing my voice, who had believed our report? You are the Son of God. You are everything. Yes, the law of attraction is true. As a man thinketh, so is he. But I'm making better and newer things to you. I don't care where you're coming from. If you understand me, that means you're chosen. Not that nobody else is chosen, but people wake up. We're in the time of awakening in the age of Aquarius. People wake up at different speeds. Just like you wake up, some people wake up, got right the quest out. Some people take up a little, might take a couple of hours to get up. They ain't ready to get up yet. But if you getting up, then you get up. If you hear this, you get up. And as you get up, everybody else will get up, start making a noise in the house. We're back. That's why they made that Disney movie. But you the dinosaur. I'm in my bag. Etymology. I think I've proven here that etymology is something you can go and study that for yourself. The Tower of Babel. Remember, we're talking about a pictorial language that has meaning. Everybody knew the same thing. I'm not even gonna get into it right now. But why would God confuse language, considering the impacts of what that does? But I'm just saying to show you the etymology. Of course, etymology is important, because if you don't know what others are saying, what shit mean, you're gonna get fucked up in the matrix. Moses asked, "What's your name?" He said, "I am that. I am that I am." Over in India, remember, Abraham come from India. He come from West India. They worship the god called Brahman and Sharashti. And then Abraham come over to the Hebrew culture, and now we have the story of Abraham and Sarah. That's thousands of years before Abraham took his first shit. I am that I am. I didn't finish writing it out, but it said Aham Brahasmi That's what they say in the Buddhist languages. And Tattvamasmi in the Hindi. It means, we say, I am that I am. They say that I am. That thou art. That's what I am. We say over here, I am that I am. They talk about that guy, Abraham Isbasi, that I am. All I'm saying is, that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is all world religions is one religion. I'm not dividing. He said, in that day when I return, they're going to come from the east and the west, and we all going to sit down and enjoy the bread of heaven at the table of brotherhood, and I'm going to give you the bread of understanding. Come he who is hungry to the waters, and let him eat if he thirsty. Come ye to the waters free without money and buy. You don't need money for this. All you need is you. That's why he said there was a poor in spirit. The ignorant one's going to laugh because you understand what I'm saying. Not what I'm saying. You understand yourself because you are that, and he's gathering all those particles up of himself or itself or herself. I already went over this murder. Why is God's selection in order to save the rest of the world? I need to slaughter everybody. 150,000 people go to hell every day. That means every second. Next, get them out of here. No time for a trial. Next, 1.5 people every second. Next, no time for a trial. And that movie, Annoying, it disturbed me because who dies next? Everyone else. If you're not believe everyone else dies. No, that's not the answer. The Bible is the word of God. Of course it is. But what does word mean? Logos, logic. In Hebrew, derech, word, commands. Logic, the ordering pattern of the universe. All other texts say the same thing. Sin, what is sin? What is sin? I mean, literally, what is sin? Have you ever read the Songs of Solomon? I don't really hear a lot of preachers preaching out of Songs of Solomon. Solomon had 1,000 wives. He had 100 wives and 1,000 concubines. That means royal. I'm trying to come up with a good word, but be as provocative as possible without being totally offensive. Although that might be too late. 1,000 royal concubines. That's the holy Puntang, that holy Kunana. He had 1,000 of those. What is sin? I'm not even gonna say what I want to say next. Language of confusion. Who started racism? If God came down and said, "Let us confuse them. We don't want them to become like God. They building a tower. Let's confuse them." Then who started racism? Where does racism come from? I'm not blaming God. I'm just asking questions to get you to think. Why would God confuse language when he said, "I'm not the author of confusion"? But when you confuse language and people start forgetting everything, language gets turned, and religions get turned, and symbology gets messed up. People forget what shit mean. Native American languages, one example. People forget shit mean just saying stuff. You gotta get shit fucked up. Biblical Book of Power. A question to ask yourself is, why will provoke a European, and I'm not being racist, you could take that white guilt and shove it down the toilet. Take that white guilt and shove it down the toilet. Just go ahead, flush that white guilt on out. Go ahead, feel good. I say you can. Go ahead, take that white guilt and go ahead and flush it down the toilet. Because you got the option to choose how you want to live, what you want to see. Yeah. Bam, yeah, I give you that. I'm saying that. Yup. Because hate ain't gonna never equal love. That's a simple math equation. Everybody, for the first of all, who wrote this? Joseph Campbell. Giving us, this led to Star Wars, Luke Skywalker and all that. Go, read. But hey guys, he's a white guy. Okay? It's fascinating. Interesting. Who wrote Egypt? Light of Egypt. Mancha, Osho. Holy Kabbalah, 80 weights. I can't even find the joint I'm looking for. I'm trying to find Gerald Massey. Anyway. You either got a soul or you don't. You either got love or you don't. You're either ready to grow up or you're not. It's as simple as that. I'm bringing up the biblical book of power. He said, what will make we all know the story now. Go study the Moors. Go study the history. Go study everything. What will make a Macedonian king, Philip, that's his pop, Alexander the Conqueror, go down and conquer all these black native people? What in the world will make him do that? What was it about their spiritual system? I'm saying look at it like that instead of looking at it as just, oh, bunch of religious mumbo jumbo mythology. Because he didn't use the Shinto texts of Japan to take over the world. He didn't use the American native system to take over the world. The indigenous people, he used the Bible. He used that specific paradigm. What made him choose that? And I'm saying, think like the book of Eli. The dude that wanted Denzel's book, he didn't want the book because he cared about the truth, really. He just wanted the power. So what is it about the book that once you understand it, you gain power? Isaac Newton, y'all know he studied the Egyptian text, and he said, quoting stuff out of the Kabbalion. This is the Kabbalion. The Emerald Tablets of Hermes. Why is there Isaac Newton? We got Madame Blavatsky. Why do they have translations? Fulcanelli, all these during the European Renaissance. Isaac Newton has a translation in here. Why is he counted amongst this? And they say in earth as it is as above, so below. And then Jesus say in earth as in heaven. As above, so below, as earth is in heaven. When you understand, it says as above, so below in Egypt, which we all come is from the back of the dollar bill. It says in here, once you overstand, it will, all obscurity will fly from you. All misunderstanding will fly from you. It will not bother you. John chapter 1 says, and the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness has not comprehended it not. The darkness don't understand the light, but it also means in that Greek word, it means that darkness has not overpowered the light, which means one light, a match in the room can make the darkness fly. But no matter how much darkness will never overpower the light. The light not being just sunlight, although it's a great analogy, but talking about the light of consciousness, because truth, when truth comes, it comes. And then when it comes, it's time to come, and that's it. Truth is truth. How can Jesus say something that not be true? If you believe that, and then I'm not saying in a circular reasoning type of way. Think of it the other way. How can you say something that's true that Jesus not agree with? How can something be true that you can't involve within your system? Language and confusion. Why is God so mad? Who's he mad at? Why is God so mad? Who's he mad at? He made the world. Got my little action figures, and I made them up out of I made you out of clay. Got them fighting against each other, and then I get mad, stomping up and down. Let me kill them all. They're not playing right. You made everything. Who's he mad at? You can't be mad at me. I'm the toy. If we going by that, if we just going by the exoteric, the literal version, the Sunday school lesson, if we just going by that, then I can pretend I'm mad. But at the end of the day, if I'm God, I'm just mad at myself. Maybe something deeper is being said. Christ before Christ, though, we said that. I'm already past that. I said that Abraham and Sarah a couple times. Skip that. Christ before Christ. That's why I said in the beginning, go look up Serapis. Go look up the Psalter. Look it up. GRS me. Christ 100 before he is Christ. Christ, JC, Julius Caesar, Psalter. Yeah, it ain't no coming back from this, but it's too many